In 1990, you get arrested for racketeering, money laundering, leading a continued criminal enterprise, and other charges, and you're looking at a life sentence. How did you find out you were being arrested?
I didn't find out I was being arrested in 1990. What happened was I had got dropped off at my house, and I lived in Queens Village at the time. 223. I forgot the exact address, but it was in Queens Village. It was a mother-daughter high ranch house, top and bottom, nice place. And yeah, and so what happened was when I went in, I just got dropped off by my people. They took me in, and only let certain people come to my house. The only one that come to my house is the people that I know will give their life for me. Nobody else. We grew up with each other. We trust each other. We know each other's mother and father. And so they dropped me off. The ones who always dropped me off. I went inside, took a shower. At the time, my wife at the time, Suzette, she made me something to eat. I ate. I went to sleep. We were both in the bed sleep, and the police got to my bedroom door so quietly they didn't have to knock the front door open because the shit was left open, and they walked right in there and they went right into came to my bedroom, and that's when they tried to knock the door. I had that door locked, and when I heard it, I looked up, I reached down. I slept with a shotgun there, sawed-off shotgun there. I picked up the shotgun, but then I seen the letters on the front, and I threw the shotgun in the closet, and I got arrested right there. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they could have blew my head off because for real, if they would have seen the gun in my hand, they might have opened fire on me. I'd have been dead, man. So I'm glad I threw that shotgun fast, man. Yeah. And then arrested us, yeah. I had no prior warning I was gonna be arrested, right? So, because you said, how did you find out you was gonna be arrested? I had no prior warning. They just came. Yeah.
Did you have any clue that they were onto you?
We started thinking, they had my phone wiretapped. Look, they had my phone wiretapped, and we kept talking like, yo, man, they listening to our phone calls. But I didn't have an actual clue. I just knew that the phone might have been tapped. You know, they use, in my case, and they use informants and confidential informants, right? And I know you know the difference between the two. I mean, we know that's what we've been talking about lately. But that's what they use in our case. In order to get the wiretaps and the search warrants, they use informants and confidential informants. And the confidential informants were the ones who actually were right in the midst of us, and they knew everything kind of going on, and they would tell them certain things. And in fact, I had a hearing, and at the hearing, when I had a hearing to suppress the shotgun that I took, I owned the shotgun. I made sure that I took ownership of that so that nobody else would get arrested, right? And so I tried to suppress it so they don't use it at trial. And I really wanted to learn how did they find out things. And what happened was they let me know that someone gave up they basically where I lived in the house, where I slept in the house, and they had pictures of my wife, had pictures of her that they got from the informant and all kind of stuff, man.
Oh, okay. So this was somebody close to you, very close to you then.
Yeah, very, very close, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I seen that you beat the state case, so they dropped the state case and the feds picked it right up?
Right. What happened was, I'm glad you asked me this story because this is interesting. This is where it gets interesting. First, we get arrested by the state. In 1990, March 21st, 1990, it was the state that locked us up. Queens prosecutor's office locked us up. When they locked us up, we moved to suppress the wiretaps. We got locked up first for a drug case. Then they charged us with some homicides. And so we moved to suppress the wiretaps. And when we moved to suppress the wiretaps, before they moved to suppress the wiretaps, they took me to, I think I went to trial first on the homicides. I was found not guilty on the homicides, all of them. Since I was incarcerated at the time when they alleged that it occurred, I was found not guilty. It was a weak case from the start. Number one, they said I ordered some murders, which didn't happen. It wasn't even a true story. So I knew I was going to win that case. But then we moved for the suppress the wiretaps. That was a little different. And what happened was one of my co-defendants got his suppressed first. And they knew that they would have to expose who the rat was. So instead of exposing who the rat was, right, they elected instead to have the feds pick the case up because the rat was too important to expose. So what they did was...
And with the feds, they can hide the rats longer, right?
Right. And so what happened was, in my case, my co-defendant wiretaps got suppressed. My wiretaps actually never got suppressed on my house, right? What happened was they didn't want to have certain hearings because I was asking to see the rat. I wanted to see the person walk into court to see who it is. And I think in their minds, they said, we can't do that. We have to protect who he is. So the feds took the case to federal court. And then later on, they threw the case got thrown out. You know what I'm saying? Ours would have got suppressed anyway. We did have a hearing. I think we had some kind of hearing. I got to go back and look. And then we waited to see what they was going to say. But when the feds picked the case up, it was nothing else to say. They ended up throwing everything out. So I beat the homicide cases, the quadruple homicide, and then they suppressed my co-defendant's wiretaps. And then they just threw mine out, and we get to federal court.
Okay, and this is all while you're still in jail? So you're fighting?
Yeah, I tried to make a bail. They wouldn't let me make bail. We put up property to make bail. My bail was, I think, either $500,000 or $1 million. We put up something, but we had to go to Court of Appeals. We went to the courts because they wouldn't accept what we put up because they said we had to put up more or something like that. So we put up some property, then they said we had to put up more, something like that. So we ended up losing in the Court of Appeals, and the feds came and got us and took us before anything else. And I never went home from there. I went straight to the feds.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.